Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Rohit Wellington. Let's begin with our top story. Hours before he faces no trust vote, Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan addressed his nation and slammed the opposition for indulging in blatant horse trading, saying that politicians are being bought and sold like sheep. He also made sensational claims of a foreign conspiracy to topple his government and name the United States. He also said that no superpower can dictate terms to India and that Pakistan should not be treated like a tissue paper by America. He also called for peaceful protests on Sunday over alleged foreign conspiracy. Listen in.
कि हमारा अमेरिका में जो एम्बेसडर था उसकी एक मुलाकात हुई अमेरिकन ऑफिशियल के साथ. अब अमेरिकन ऑफिशियल जो था उसकी बस सिर्फ मैं थोड़ी सी बात आपको बताता हूं कि उसने कहा क्या. उसने कहा कि अगर आप इमरान खान को ये, और उसने कहा अभी अदम एतमाद दर्ज नहीं हुआ था पाकिस्तान में, उससे पहले ये कह रहा है, यानी इसे पता था कि अदम एतमाद आने वाली है. कहता कि अगर इमरान खान इसमें से बच जाता है अदम एतमाद से, तो पाकिस्तान को बड़ा मुश्किल यानी कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस फेस करने पड़ेंगे. एक बड़े खुददार कौम है. कभी किसी की जुर्रत नहीं है कि वहां इस तरह की बात करें. किसी सुपर पावर की जुर्रत नहीं है कि वहां ये भी तस्वर कर दें कि जनाब वो यही कह दें कि जनाब अपने फॉरेन रिलेशन में वो कहें जो हम कह रहे हैं. अब देख रहे हैं वो रूसियों से हालांकि सारी सैंक्शंस लगी हुई हैं, वो कह रहे जी हम तेल इंपोर्ट करते हैं, हमारे लोगों की बेहतरी है.
Now to the other big story. Coronavirus booster shots will be available to all adults from Sunday at private vaccination centres. That's what the government announced on Friday. These will be paid booster shots for 18 plus age group. Now, precaution doses so far have been given only for health workers and the 60 plus age group. Now, this decision to open up booster shots for all adults comes as infections grow in many countries and some Indians find it hard to travel abroad without a third dose.
After demands by many health experts for many months, the Indian government has finally cleared booster shots, or precaution doses as it calls them, but with conditions. It's only for those above 18 years old, and there must be a 9-month gap after the second dose, and it's not free. In some other countries, the gap is as little as 4 weeks. Doctors have welcomed the move, so are those keen to take the precaution dose.
These are pragmatic decisions which are being taken by experts, but yes, long awaited and certainly a most useful decision.
Definitely a welcome move to have opened up the booster dose for the entire adult population. It reduces the risk of hospitalizations and the death rate.
If you want to take your booster dose, it'll be paid for. Would you still take it?
Of course I would take it. It's for my own safety.
For booster I'm waiting because 9 months had not completed, so I'm waiting for the booster. Yeah.
And you will also take your booster dose?
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
All right. And ma'am, you said you're 14 and you've just taken your first dose, right? Or second dose? You're going to take your first dose. But, would you feel safer going to school if once you've completed both your doses?
Yes, I would feel safe when I take both the doses.
Anil Kumar is a 23-year-old migrant worker from Bihar working at a roadside eatery in Hyderabad. He says he took the first and second dose of COVID vaccine that came free of cost, but he cannot afford to pay for the precaution dose.
मैं पैसे नहीं दे सकता हूँ और पैसे से नहीं ले सकता हूँ. अगर जो गवर्नमेंट दे तो मैं फ्री में ले सकता हूँ.
37-year-old Mantu Yadav also says paying for a vaccine will cut into the rations for his children back home.
मैं वैक्सीन लगा के पैसे लेके नहीं ले सकता हूँ. ठीक है, हम लोग कमाने खाने वाला आदमी हूँ. 200-300 रुपए महीने का आ रहा डेली का.
For most, the COVID scare is over, so spending on a precaution dose is not a priority.
Now corona is eradicated, so people are fearless now.
हमें तो ये मिडिल क्लास लोग हैं ना, इतना पैसा नहीं दे सकते हैं, इसलिए गवर्नमेंट में भी प्रेफर करेंगे हम.
गवर्नमेंट देंगे तो जाने की.
हाँ जाएंगे लेकिन.
India's vaccine policy has already seen a series of flip-flops. For those for who earnings are barely enough to meet necessities, precaution dose is clearly not going to be a priority. If the government wants everyone covered, they may have to make precaution doses free, at least for that segment. With camera person Nagaraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
Now, Serum Institute's chief Adar Poonawalla has told NDTV that Covishield booster shot will cost around 600 rupees plus taxes, same as before. And Covovax, once approved as booster, will cost 900 rupees plus taxes.
This was very crucial and a very timely decision by the government of India, because a lot of people who want to travel were finding it difficult as countries have put restrictions on having boosters for entry and to enter restaurants and other things. So this is going to be very useful from the 10th of April. As far as Covishield is concerned and Covovax, both are approved by the regulator. Covishield is approved as a booster. Covovax eventually will be approved as a booster and will be at 900 rupees on the CoWIN app. Covishield will remain at 600 rupees. But it's important to add that we will be offering large discounts to this, so that hospitals and distributors can have and earn a margin whilst they sell this product. The final customer or consumer will still have to pay 600 rupees for Covishield plus taxes and 900 rupees for Covovax plus tax. Covovax is approved by the regulator. It's a formality now where the NTTV committee has to meet and adopt it onto the CoWIN app, so that you can get a certificate and use it for children over the age of 12. Covovax as a booster will probably be available a bit later on, as that has other discussions. The NTTV has to look at some of the other data for the booster for Covovax. But we leave it to the experts to decide that. The first thing will be that Covovax will be approved for children for dose 1 and dose 2 over the age of 12. And then followed by lower age groups all the way down to 3. But that will happen, in the coming months.
Let's in fact look at COVID cases in India. The daily new cases remain above 1,000. Cases reported in the last 24 hours, 1,109. They were up 7.35%. Deaths reported in 24 hours, 43. No change there. Positivity, 0.24. That's up 12.5%. And tests conducted in the last 24 hours, over 4,50,000, down 6.27%. Now, the centre has written to 5 states, Kerala, Delhi, Haryana, Maharashtra and Mizoram, after concerns over the rise in positivity rates. The letter by the Union Health Secretary says that there are few states which are reporting a higher contribution to India's daily new cases. There is a need for continuous follow-up of a risk assessment-based approach for management of COVID-19. The state of Kerala, that letter says, has reported 2,321 new cases in the last week, accounting for 31.8% of India's new cases. Maharashtra reporting 794 new cases in the last 1 week, accounting for 10.9% of India's new cases. And Delhi reporting an increase in weekly new cases from 724 to 826 new cases. Let's in fact look at the numbers of Delhi in some detail. Delhi has reported the highest cases in 4 weeks, 176 cases in Delhi, which is highest in a span of 4 weeks. In fact, the daily average cases have risen almost 15% compared to a week ago. And if you look at Delhi's COVID reproduction number, that has shot past 1 mark. This is important because above 1 indicates the rise in cases. It is, in fact, now at 1.15 and has been above 1 for the last 8 days. The other big story, Reserve Bank of India on Friday kept the repo rate unchanged at 4% for the 11th time in a row. This as oil prices and those of other essentials spike. RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das said that expected benefits from the ebbing of Omicron wave will be offset by an escalation in geopolitical tensions.
The sky today may be overcast with clouds, but we will use all our energies, resolve and resources to let the sunlight illuminate India's future.
The RBI governor looking for silver linings, but the numbers he listed paint a gloomy picture.
The RBI has cut its GDP forecast to 7.2%, down from 7.8%, which was projected earlier. The central bank said the forecast is down as the positive benefits it expected from the receding Omicron wave have been offset by sharp geopolitical tensions. In the second major announcement, the RBI has sharply raised its inflation forecast to 5.7% from 4.5% earlier. Explaining this, the RBI said supply disruptions have rattled global markets, pushing up the prices of oil, gas and other commodities. The RBI is now assuming crude oil prices to be at $100 per barrel for this year, up from the earlier budgeted price of $75. And lastly, the interest rate has remained unchanged for the 11th time in a row and still stands at its 19-year low of 4%. The rate is kept steady because even though economic activity is recovering, it is barely above pre-pandemic levels. The RBI stood by its accommodative stance it has maintained since the pandemic to support growth. But interestingly, the RBI governor did say the bank is now focusing on withdrawal of this accommodation to ensure inflation remains within target. This is being seen as a signal for interest rate hikes in the next few policies.
All that has happened all around the world has introduced a completely new element into the scheme of things. So therefore, we have revised the inflation projections, and I have said that we are ready to take whatever action is required.
Inflation at 5.7% is pushing the RBI's comfort limit of 6%. And while food inflation contributed the most, the central bank expects no major flare-up in grain prices. Inflation will depend on the geopolitical situation, it said. Manufacturers, however, expect higher input and output price pressures.
But on a more
the RBI also said that in a gradual and calibrated manner, it will withdraw rupees 8.5 lakh crore of liquidity from the system beginning this year over a multi-year time frame in a non-disruptive manner. After the monetary policy announcement, the Sensex surged over 400 points and ended at 59,447. The Nifty gained over 140 points, ended at 17,784.
The focus of this monetary policy has been global volatility caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The first monetary policy of the year has tried to address the challenges the economy will face in the days to come as a result of what the RBI governor describes as tectonic shifts.
With Priyanshi Sharma and Sakshi Bajaj in New Delhi, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
6 days after a Hindu priest's hate speech outside a mosque in Uttar Pradesh's Sitapur district, in which he allegedly threatened to kidnap and rape Muslim women, police have finally registered a case. Sitapur police said in a statement on Twitter this after visuals of speech sparked outrage and questions on why no action had been taken so far. The video shows a man clad in saffron robes, reportedly a local mahant in a small town, addressing a gathering from inside a jeep. A man in police uniform can also be seen in the background. National Commission for Women has also taken note of this shocking video.
2 days, 2 viral hate speech videos 1,300 kilometers apart, but no concrete action in either case. Speech 1 delivered in Ahmedabad on March 27 by an aide of right-wing leader Praveen Togadia. Speech 2 in UP Sitapur last Saturday by a so-called Hindu priest. It's taken the UP police 6 days to file an FIR against so-called Mahant Bajrang Muni in Sitapur, 100 kilometers from Lucknow. Filmed in this video delivering a rabid hate speech threatening Muslim women with rape last Saturday. But he has still not been arrested. This second video shows at least 4 policemen with the priest as he makes the communal and provocative remarks. But the FIR only happened after the videos went viral last night. In the viral videos, a crowd cheers him with shouts of Jai Shri Ram as he purportedly says that if a Muslim harasses any girl in the area, he would kidnap Muslim women and publicly rape them.
जो 2 बजे का समय था, हम लोग नमाज पढ़ के निकले तो ये जुलूस निकल रहा था। कम से कम 1,500 लोगों की संख्या होगी। थोड़ी देर बाद बाबा ने स्पीच देना शुरू किया तो हम वापस आए। देखा ये बाबा बहुत ही गंदी बातें इस तरह के इस्तेमाल कर रहे थे। मुसलमानों के खिलाफ की लड़कियों को उठा ले जाएंगे, उनके साथ खुलेआम रेप करेंगे। ठीक है, ये दंगा भड़काने वाली बातें कर रहे थे। पुलिस मौजूद थी, उन्होंने कोई एक्शन नहीं लिया।
ये महंत कहलाते हैं और इस तरह की बात करते हैं। महिलाएं चाहे किसी भी रिलीजन की हों, हम कहते हैं कि उनकी इज्जत करनी चाहिए। मैं वैसे भी इसको पर्सनली टेकअप करूंगी कि जल्दी ही ये हो।
The Ahmedabad hate speech was allegedly delivered by Manoj Kumar, a close aide of right-wing leader Praveen Togadia, and in Togadia's presence at a function to distribute Trishuls. In viral videos, Kumar makes extremely vulgar and derogatory remarks against Muslim women and also purportedly makes a call for violence. No action over these videos so far. With Mohammad Samir, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Now, a baby was born under cell phone lights at a government hospital in Andhra Pradesh because power supply failed. With a huge power deficit and no means to buy power, the state has imposed 50% power cuts on industry. Uma Sudhir reports.
This baby was born at the stroke of midnight in darkness under cell phone lights and candles because the entire government hospital at Andhra Pradesh Anakapalli had no power supply and the generator was not working.
Generator enduku on cheyaledandi?
Ade work cheyadandi lori repair cheyincharu andaru. Teliyadandi mem. Sela government సెలవుతో డెలివర్ లేడునా పెద్ద హాస్పిటల్ సెలవులో డెలివర్ లేస్తారు అక్కడన్నా అంత పెద్ద హాస్పిటల్ ఉంది.
Patients suffered in the dark at this hospital in Jangareddy Gudam as well.
లైట్ ఉందా సార్? మా మిస్సెస్ ఇప్పుడు ప్రెగ్నెంట్, పెయిన్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. ఇప్పుడు ఈ టైంలో వెళ్ళి లైట్లోన క్యాండిల్ ఇచ్చుకోమన్నా సార్. 12 గంటల టైంలో ఎవరిస్తారు సార్ క్యాండిల్ లైట్లోన? ఇప్పుడు సెల్ లైట్లు ఇచ్చి ఆపరేషన్ చేసి పంపించామండి.
Andhra Pradesh is having a daily power deficit of up to 5 lakh units. That is why from Friday the government has imposed up to 50% power cuts on industry. Units have been told to take a weekly power holiday with only one shift at work during weekdays. This is to be reviewed after 15 days. With camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
That's a wrap on this bulletin from the entire team. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.